What's up, everybody? It's Jeff White Fitness Solutions. This is a relatively quick video, but this is very important, and everyone will be affected by this in one way or another. Now, as you can see here, there are serious concerns about credit risk coming from banks, and this could have a direct impact on everyone at some point. Now, the way I see this is if these banks fail and we see a consolidation where big banks are buying up little banks, what will happen is the credit limits and credit lines and the ability to get credit will get that much harder. And this will affect everything that you need credit for. Now, I'm going to speak on a personal um, experience, a personal note. We had a water heater in my house that went out, and we had our air conditioner go out, and that stuff costs money. And so we had to get credit. So the air conditioning people came out, and it was like several $1,000s, and we applied for credit and we got it. If these banks tighten credit, there's a good chance we may not have even gotten the credit or on the credit line, or it would be a smaller credit line than we could use to fix the heater, the air conditioner. So, it's little things like that. If you want to get a car, you may not be able to finance it. If you want to get a home, you may have to put down an even bigger down payment. And on top of that, you may have to have a higher interest rate. So your payment is going to be that much higher. So this could be a major problem. If you have a major car repair bill and you want to get financing to get that thing fixed, you may not be able to get financing. That's what this means. And unfortunately, a lot of people live on credit. And we're also hearing situations where credit lines on credit cards are being slashed or reduced. So if people are already living check to check or credit to credit every week, using their credit cards to get food. I even know someone who is using the credit card to pay their rent. So this is huge, people. This is very, very important, and we need to pay really close attention to this because it's hitting us like like a really bad tsunami. That's basically how it feels right now. So we need to be very careful and watch this story very, very closely, and we need to start preparing as well. Okay, guys. So we need to just prepare for the worst because we are so reliant on a banking system these days. It's not even funny. It's downright scary. And here are some things that we can do right now. And the first thing that I strongly suggest we all do is start carrying cash. I don't care how much you carry, but carry some cash. And I give you two examples. Just literally today, I had a flat tire on my truck, and I got the spare put on. It's a full tire spare, but I like to take it off and put it back as a spare. So I went to the tire place to see if they could fix my tire to see if it could be patched. Well, they patched it, but their credit card machine was down. They did all the work and literally had put my tire back on, and it's like, oh no, our machine is down. We're having issues with our machine. Do you have cash? Thankfully, I did. I had cash. So always carry cash because you never know what can happen. Machines could be down. It's a banking issue. Then number two, um, I have a card that I use, and twice last month I had money on that card. Is a debit card at that, and for some reason, my transactions weren't going through. One was to go out to dinner, take the family out, and then another time it was to get admission into a state fair. So imagine my shock when I'm trying to use this card and they're saying, "I'm sorry, it's not going through." I'm like, "Are you kidding? I checked this. I know the money's there." So thankfully, in each instance, I had cash. I was able to use cash. In one instance, I used cash actually. In the other one, I used another card. But you gotta have cash. So do everything you can to carry just a little bit of cash with you. I don't care how much. If it's enough to get you some gas to get home, or to get you a meal, just carry some cash and have more at home in case you need to just grab it and go. Next, be mentally prepared to not have access to credit. And when I say not access to credit, I'm talking about for major repairs, like I just discussed. If you have a house and you need your roof repaired, 9 times out of 10 you're going to use credit for that. A major car repair. A lot of times people use credit, even credit cards. Like I said, your limit could be reduced, and you don't even realize it was reduced, or they just tell you it's been reduced. So you want to get to the point where you are mentally prepared to not have credit. If you are mentally prepared, you can start doing what you need to do to make sure you're protected and covered. And one thing you can do is to get gold and silver, have physical gold and silver. And I talk about this all the time. But gold and silver are real money. It's been used as money for thousands of years because it is money. It is never going to zero. But meanwhile, every fiat currency has gone to zero since time has began. So here's the deal. If credit dries up, and let's just say the real estate market crashes, and you see some property you want to buy, but the bank says, I'm sorry, you got to put down 20% to get this house, but you don't have 20% in cash. But if you have some gold and silver, the general consensus is when the dollar crashes or when something really catastrophic happens, the price of gold and silver will go up in the currency that you use. And in America's case, it's the US dollar. So many people, I myself included, believe that the value of those precious metals will increase. So if that were to happen, you could use those precious metals, convert them into the currency, and then use that as a down payment for whatever you're trying to buy. That is a strategy that many people will be looking for. They're looking for opportunities, and that is one place where the gold and silver could be used. And that goes to my last point. Expect stricter rules and regulations when applying for credit. You may have to have a damn near perfect credit score to get credit. If you have any blemishes on your credit, you may not be able to get anything. Or again, as I said before, if you can get credit, the rates may be ridiculously high because the demand will increase for the credit, but it will be less places that will provide credit. So this is a major story that we must watch, and this is just another way to squeeze the middle class. We must work on doing everything we can to protect ourselves and become as self-sufficient as possible. And that is where the gold and silver comes in, and having multiple streams of income, preferably passive income. Because the more money you have coming in, the better off you'll be, and the less credit you just might have to use. So let's watch this story, people, because this is a developing story. It's not being talked about as much as it should because I think they don't want people to panic. They don't want people to do bank runs and see these banks close even faster than what they could be closing. So pay close attention, but start being proactive